Hello everyone, welcome to my stamp studio. It is time for Stampin' Fun and More. So tonight I have a class to go. It is our Pine Tree Trimmings and Stay Warm class. This is a class that you can purchase the card kit, or if you place an order, you can get the card kit for free. So I'm going to walk through all the different cards and we're going to have a little fun tonight. Just going to show you some new product. I'm just kind of stalling here because I just need to refresh my page over there so I can see me live and I can see comments. So I would love for you to say hi. If you're watching for the first time, say I'm new and I'll welcome you to our team here, our little group. And if you are watching, don't be afraid to say hi. It's okay. You can admit that you're watching. I won't reach out and grab you, promise. I may call you out by saying, hi, so-and-so, but I'm not going to call you so-and-so. I'll use your name. So while I'm waiting for people to join and kind of catch up here, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself, because recently I was asked, there we go, got my comments. Recently I was asked why do you do this? That's a really good question. And I have a really good answer. It might be long-winded, but it's a good answer. I've actually been a demonstrator now with Stampin' Up! For 23 years. Yeah, I know that kind of dates me, but yeah, it's all right. I'm a grandma, so hey, what do you expect? I do this because when my children were young, it was my outlet. It was my way to connect with people and not feel that I was just a mom, not just stuck at home being a mom. I do have a full-time job. I am an analyst at a children's hospital. I love my job. I'm very passionate about things that I do. So my job at Children's, I drink the Kool-Aid. That's what we like to say, is because, serving the people that are caring for children and their families, I'm getting all misty, is one of the biggest blessings I have. Every little thing I do helps those people with their worst nightmares, their worst days. If I can make it a little easier for a doctor or a nurse to help those families and those patients, then I'm going to do it. Now, going back to Stampin' Up, that is my creative outlet. That is where I get my energy and my joy. It is a gift and a blessing that I have. Yeah, it just is, I don't know. No other word than amazing can describe it. The friendships I've made across the world, even my own state, my own city, are tremendous. The things that I get to experience, the creativity, the business, everything that goes with it is just makes my heart just swell. It just makes it all warm and fuzzy, And then other people have asked, well, who are you trying to reach? I'm trying to reach you that's sitting out there, that maybe is sitting back in the woods, just kind of watching and hanging back. I'm here to give you some community, some friendship. I am ferocious with my love and my friendships and my family. I like to give. I like to share. I like to feel needed. There's times in my life that I've been lonely, and I felt this is such an awesome way to help those people that maybe feel the same thing. I know, especially during COVID, so many people felt lonely. They were locked up in their house, but I started way before COVID happened. I want to reach out to those people that maybe just need that little extra something. I have many great friends. Some of them craft, some of them don't. And that's okay. They're my friends for all different reasons, but they fill me, they complete me. And my family fills and completes me too. And so to me, this is my way of giving back to other people that maybe need that extra attention, I guess, maybe that extra friendship. So that's why I'm calling it my stamp studio. You're crafting home away from home. I want you to feel like this is home. I want you to feel like this is a safe space and you can share, and you can comment and you can ask questions. And I can tell you what, there is no stupid question in the world. I know you hear that all the time, but truly there isn't. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say there really isn't a stupid question, unless you're purposely asking a stupid question. But you know, some people, it's automatic to them. Some people it's not. Some people are like, hey, why haven't you done this? Now, that's a stupid part on me that I didn't realize I should do that, right? One of the things I do like saying during my videos and my classes is, I may be a dork, but I am your dork. And I truly mean that sincerely. I do silly things. I goof up my projects. I'm human. I am not perfect. I am so far from perfect. I don't even aim for that. I don't strive for that. And I think that is one of the fun things about stamping with me is, if you're someone who's very meticulous and perfect, I'm going to stretch your boundaries. I'm going to make you stamp crooked. I'm going to make you stamp so it's not perfect. It's just what I do. It's kind of like teasing you. But it just kind of gets you out of your comfort zone. And sometimes when you get out of your comfort zone, you grow. So that is my little spiel, not really a spiel, of why I do what I do. So enough talk. People have joined. Hello. I really appreciate you all being here. And I'm going to share a whole bunch of things with you tonight. So I'm super excited. I actually got to play with some brand new product myself, and I couldn't wait to share it with you. So I've got all my projects off to my side. Make sure I have everything in a row. I've got my stamped chamois. I've got my adhesive, glue dots. I don't have my glue dots. Oh, there they are. All right. I've got quite a few stamp sets that I'm using tonight. Actually, not quite a few, just a couple. So I'm going to show you those in just a minute. I am going to talk to you about a couple things I still have out there. And oh, what did I do with it? So I have my Spooky Sweet Mega Class. You can still register for that. If you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, I will show you the projects because they're cute. And I did a video last week, I think, showing you 6 of the 10 projects. That's why I'm calling it a mega class. There are 10 projects. I didn't share all of them with you. There's 4 that are kind of a little secret thing for those people that get the class. Let me grab those samples real quick. I have them right next to me on the floor here, so I could grab them. And I can tell you, I could not stop. When I was playing that night, I did the class. I kept going after the class for about another 2 hours, making more. I just couldn't stop. It was silly. Silly late. Yeah, I'm going to flip down my camera. I wish I could find the other thing I was looking for, but I guess I'm not going to. All right, I'm going to flip down my camera, and we're going to chat a little bit more, and then we're going to start stamping, all right? So I need to move a couple things out of the way because I don't want you to see the projects quite yet. All right. So get ready. If you get dizzy, please, please, please close your eyes. I'll let you know when to open them. I won't start without telling you. Hang on. Yeah, I don't have the fancy schmancy, you know, flip my camera around. I have to manually do it. All right. So, oh, here is the mega class. I'm still going to show you the projects. So this is my Spooky Sweet Mega Class. You can register for this until Monday. And then I'm going to be ordering all the supplies for those of you that have already registered on Tuesday and get them sent out to you as soon as I get that product in. All right, so let me show you some of the projects that we did. So here is a little treat box. How cute is this? You open it up. Is this one? This one's empty. Let me show you. Oh, I changed it up a little bit. So let's see. I had stamped an extra little guy, so I thought, oh, I'll make another box. All right, so inside my little box, so I got a little Velcro holder there. I found these cute candy or chocolate sandwiches, so like miniature Oreos, but they're orange on the inside. So I know Oreos probably have different colors. I just haven't been out to the store to see if they have the orange ones out yet. I'm sure they will. All right, so that's one of them. Let's see which other one we did. Okay, like I said, I have lots of them in my little bin here. I don't want to show you the ones that are part of the class, So this was a fun fold, not really a fun fold, but I made this with our everyday arches. I'll put a link to that video in the comments. It's also actually, if you go over to my YouTube channel, so my stamp studio, you can find this class and watch the whole class. It is a long one. I'm going to tell you, you probably need to take some breaks, but these projects are fabulous. Okay. Now I did these 2 cards. So this was my original one, and this is the other one we did based on all the little dies and stuff that you get in the Spooky Sweet Designer specialty paper. So you get a package of that. And let's see, what other one do I have here to show you? Oh, that's an extra. Okay, here's one. Here's one. Okay. The all tricks, no treats, all tricks. I keep saying that backwards. It should be all treats, no tricks, but you know, I know. So in the little foam, the foam stars, you get that in the class. Let's see. Ooh, I have a shaker card, but can't show you that one. Ooh, I have another one made of the little dies. Oh, another one of the dies. Ooh, another one of the dies. Ooh, another one of the dies. Oh, treat boxes. Okay, treat bag. So we did this little treat bag. You will be getting some of the, half a package of the iridescent bags. They are really fun. So based on what color is behind them, kind of shows what color it is. And in here, I use Sour Patch Kids. And yes, I did taste test them. I always taste test my treats. They were pretty yummy, I gotta say. I think I like the Sour Patch Kids better than the Mike and Ike's that I used to make this project. It's a nice, fun little flap. My husband likes Mike and Ike's, so that's going to be his Halloween treat. All right, so I'm not going to show you any more of the cards because then I'd be giving away the whole kit and caboodle, and we're going to save the kit and caboodle for the people that attend class. All right. Next, I'm going to share with you about our October Christmas craft along. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. So these are kind of a sneak peek of the projects that I'll be offering. I actually collaborated with two other demonstrators, Deb Smeek and Sherry Sicky, who is my partner in crime for a lot of retreats and stamp camps. We came up with 12, actually 13 projects. So you get 12 projects in the class, and as a bonus, we really liked the 13th project we had, so you'll be getting a bonus project. So with that class, you get this giant tutorial, and I'm telling you, it is a giant tutorial. Lots of pictures, lots of step-by-step instructions. Everything you need to know about those projects are in this tutorial. It is awesome. So you get all of that with the class. So this closes also on Monday, so make sure you sign up for this. You don't want to miss this. And then the week of October 20th through the 25th, each day I will be coming to you with 2 of the projects. We'll make 2 projects a day, and I'm going to show you from beginning steps of what you're going to do with your cardstock all the way to the finished project. So you will see exactly how to cut your paper, how to score your paper, how to adhere your paper. You're going to see everything. And what's so key about the Craft Along is you can get the Craft Along kit so that you can do it right there with me every step of the way. All right. We are focusing on the Stay Warm stamp set. And hey, we're using that tonight. And the Pine Tree Trimmings bundle. Hey, we're going to be using that tonight too. Imagine that. We also are using the traditional labels, sentiments, and dies, because there are some really cool label dies here. All these will be die cut for you. So we're going to send all these die cuts for you. The only thing that we're not going to be sending is the dies that are part of the Pine Tree Trimmings. We don't do any stamping for you, so you need your own stamp sets, all right? So you need your stamp sets, your ink, and your adhesive. Everything else we'll be sending to you. We're going to be sending 2 different kinds of designer series paper. You're going to get 2 different embellishments. Hint, hint, one is a shaker item. Hint, 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 super cute. And then you'll be getting some ribbon, baker's twine. And what else? There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot in this package. It's a pretty hefty package. So the designer series paper is going to be, I'm going to send it to you 12 by 12. You can cut it down yourself. And whatever extra you have, you can make whatever projects you want. So again, our Christmas Craft Along is in October, October 20th to the 25th. And don't worry, if you are not, a fan of Facebook all the time, or if you have a friend that would like to do this and is not on Facebook, all of the videos will be uploaded to YouTube. I'm actually going to see if I can download some software to allow me to go live in both places. I'm hoping I have time between now and then to figure it out and play with it. I may ask some of you to help me out with some test videos when I get it, just to see how it goes. So yeah, I'm super, super excited about this. This is... We spent weeks planning this, and we had so much fun coming up with the different projects for you. They're not just cards. I'm telling you that right now. So about half our cards and half our 3D projects. You're going to love it. You don't want to miss it. And you sure want to have everything in hand so that you can craft along with us. All right, enough about that. Let's get stamping. Are you all excited now? Got you all excited, grooving, moving, ready to go? All right. So our first card, we are going to be using a new product. And that product is actually, we're going to be using some white felt specialty paper. All right. Now they come in 12 by 12 sheets. I have been using mine, so mine are all cut down. But there is white, red, and shaded spruce. So I'm going to show you how to stamp on your white. Yeah, I want to make this fun card. So I'm going to slide this one out of the way. Now, let's bring in our parts and pieces. So I've got a piece of cloud cover here. I have a piece of the Designer Series paper, which is called what? I don't remember what it's called. Okay, I have it right behind me. It is, ta-da, it is from the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. I know you're thinking flowers and doves, and how is that going to be a Christmas card or a winter card? No worries, look at one side is the doves, one side is some just pattern paper, so we're going to be using that. Now, this is, you're going to be getting 2 of each card. So there's 3 cards tonight. You get the products to make 2 cards. Everything is going to be cut for you. So this is pretty much exactly what you're going to see for one of the cards. So it's going to be duplicated. You're going to have 2 of everything here. All right. And I am doing this die cutting for you. This is actually from our traditional labels dies. So I will do this for you. You don't have to have this, but you will need the Stay Warm stamp set, and you will need the Pine Tree Trimmings bundle, or you can use something from your own stash. Totally fine. Let's get started on our stamping. I'm going to first do my my white felt here. The reason I'm doing that is it takes a while to dry. So this card is something that you start with, put it aside, and I've got adhesive all over my table. I'm sorry. I didn't realize how dirty my table was. I need to clean that this weekend. It's bothering me. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to take a while to dry. So after you stamp it, you're going to put it aside. You're going to do all your other projects and then come back to this. All right. The reason I know that is because if you don't let it dry long enough, the ink will smear. All right. So you don't want that to happen. And I'm just looking for my stamp pads while I was talking here. This is a fun stamp set, and I'm so excited to be able to show you how fun this is. So this is one of those sets that they call reversible. All right. I'm going to show you how it's done. So let's go ahead and get a block here. I'm going to need actually 2 blocks. So we're going to start with our little sweater here and our little hat. So I'm going to pull my little dust protector off there. So here's my sweater. Here's my hat. Okay. Now, the side that we're going to use first is going to be the side that has the detail on it. All right. Now, this will fit on your block D, your D size block. It'll just fit. All right. So you're just going to put it on there. And then this one is going here. All right. I'm going to first take my Secret C. I love this color. It's not black. It's not navy. It's somewhere in between, a hint of gray. It's really a pretty color. All right. So I'm going to ink this up really good. I don't want to get it so that ink is in between all the different areas. I just want to make sure that this is inked. So I'm tapping lightly. All right. Now, I just need to make sure I'm going to have enough room. Okay. I'm going to go in this lower corner here. And you're going to get 2 pieces of felt like this. So, all right. Now, I'm not pressing hard. I'm just pressing down. I want the ink to soak in. So I'm just giving it a moment to soak in. It's really not going to stick to that felt, so it'll come up. But I do want to make sure that it's soaking in there. All right, there we go. And it looks a little grayish, but that's okay. And now we're going to do our little hat. I found for some reason the hat stamps a little darker. And then here's my little hat. Maybe it's just because I'm holding it down harder. I don't know. Okay, let's get these cleaned because we need to reuse them. So we're going to take a little chamois here and clean that up. I am going to go ahead and close that. And I actually like, you know, I'm looking at a new view on Facebook of my live as it's going, and I kind of like it. It's got a little black background on it. All right, am I too close? So maybe not. I was thinking maybe I was too close and I needed to raise my camera, but I think we'll be okay. All right, We're going to take this stamp here, and I'm going to flip it over now. Now you got to make sure your stamp and your block are dry, and I'm going to just press down on that. I'm going to take my hat and flip that over too. So now what I'm going to get on this side, let me grab a little scrap piece of paper here. I'll show you what it's going to look like. Grab this piece right here. I'll show you what the hat, I'm going to stamp it with the dark so you can see what it's going to look like. All right. So one side was your detail, the other side, solid image. All right. So that's what a reversible stamp set is. You can use the reverse side to stamp. So we're going to grab crumb cake, and we can get this out of the way. And I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to get my hat inked up here. And now I'm just going to look through my block, and I'm going to stamp right over that image. So I just need to look through. It's kind of hard because I'm sitting pretty far back from where my project is. I'm holding it down for a little bit to let that ink absorb. There we go. I'm a little off, but that's okay. I'm going to be hand trimming this out, so it's not a big deal. And again, this is because I'm sitting pretty far back from my project. I normally can line that out much better. All right, so now I'm getting my sweater all inked up. Let's rotate that around. I am going to bring it down a little bit. I'm hoping, trying to see my camera if I'm still in. Well, maybe I'll try to scoot up. All right, again, I'm looking through my block, lining up my edges and committing to the paper. I'm just gonna put that down for a minute so I can close this up. All right. Okay, now I need another little piece of, there's one thing I didn't have. It must have fallen on my floor. Let me just grab out a piece. You're also going to have this tiny little piece of cloud cover in your kit. And it's small. That's why I lost it. So let me just trim a piece out here. All right. You have this little square like that. We're going to be stamping on that in just a second. All right, let's lift this up. All right. Now you can see kind of like it's a little fuzzy. All right, I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to let it dry, and we'll come back to it in just a few minutes. And if it's not dry, I already have it cut out. So I made an extra. I made an extra earlier. And we're going to pull in our Secret C again. And now this time I'm pulling in my pine tree trimmings. I'm going to use this little bow. It's going to be cute. Got my dies right there. Small set of dies. I love this bundle. It's one of the, I don't know, I don't want to say inexpensive, but it's less than most bundles, so it's really affordable. And I'm going to get you the bundle price in just a second here. So the bundle price is $33.25 in the US. So really a good deal. You get a lot with it. So I'll show you the dies in just a moment. I just need to grab a block here and get back to my live. And I'm gonna go ahead and ink that up, and I'm just going to go right here. Now you'll probably want to do 2 of them right away, just because you're making 2 cards with your kit. And again, you'll get the 6-card kit free with a $30 purchase in my online store, or you can pay $30 and I'll just send you the kit. So really, it's all the paper supplies that you're getting here. All right, so now in this little die set is this tiny little bow. We're going to be using our Christmas tree and our star later, but that is the dies for this one. So you can keep it right in the case. I mean, how easy is that, right? You don't have to worry about losing it and all that stuff. All right, I'm going to pull in my mini die cut machine because it fits better on my desktop when I'm doing things like this. All right. And we're just going to die cut our little bow here. All right, got that done. So here's our little bow. Put that right over there. I'm going to put our little die back so I don't lose it, because, you know, I tend to lose things on my tabletop. It happens. All right, and I have one last thing to stamp here. And I'm going to take my little label, and I'm going to be stamping from the Snowflake Kisses stamp set. I really like the sentiments in this set, and I really felt it went together. Ooh, you can see where I put a stamp on there earlier. I really felt that these sentiments go so well with the warm and cozy of the Stay Warm set. So yeah, I had to use it. I just had to. So we're going to do Sending Warm Hugs, because, you know, it kind of warm and fuzzy. Although here in Wisconsin, it's not quite sweater weather yet. It is really warm. And I'm not complaining because I like warm weather. But it's been pretty warm. It's supposed to be like in the 70s and 80s all weekend too. Which is unusual. All right, so Sending Warm Hugs, and that was in my Secret C. Let's get that stamp cleaned and put back in its home. I like to put things away right away. It's one of my new challenges and goals for myself, to put my stamps back right away after I use them. I need to actually put those sweaters away in just a minute, but we'll finish stamping that and then I'll get that put away. Okay, so let's go ahead and get assembling our card. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Designer Series paper, and again, this is from that Peaceful Garden. I've got a piece of basic white here, and I'm just going to layer it. It's just an 1/8 inch bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, hey, do you ever have a problem with your seal running? If you hold it more upright, you'll get that started. And you have to, like, be light-handed. Don't press really hard on it. It's not going to roll well if you press hard. So if you have problems with it, just be a little bit more light with it. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this really fun trim here. So this is our Early Espresso and Old Olive Linen thread. We're going to be using that in our card here. I'm using a couple different kinds so you can see all the different things. Now, I'm not going to be including your twine. All right, you will have to have your own twine. Or maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. All right, and I'm just going to wrap this around once. So I'm going to leave myself a long enough tail here so I can tie a bow. All right, so I'm just going to tie it here. I like to tie my twine in a knot. It's just easier for me to have it stay in place and be tight. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hold my twine down, tie my knot. Okay, bow challenged. How many of you out there get bow challenged? It's a real thing, just saying. Okay, there we go. All right, so now let's tie our bow. I'm just flipping this around just so it makes it easier to tie. That's all. All right, bring in my snips here. Choop. And I just want to kind of tug this a little bit so it's more at an angle. We'll make a little bit smaller bow here. We'll have our tails a little bit longer. All right. Well, it's going to stay off to the side. Okay. Well, that's how this one's going to go. Sometimes twine and ribbon have their own, it has its own mind, so let it be. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my sweater on there. So I've taken my little bow and I used a glue dot and put it right on my stamped sweater. And I fussy cut those two things out. This, I can tell, is still a little wet, so I don't want to smear my ink. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this right now. The first thing I want to do is decide where my sentiment's going. So I like to lay out my project first, and then I adhere it, because then this way I know where I want to go with things. All right. So I'm going to have this out. I'm going to adhere this to my base right away. All right. So again, just my Designer Series paper. This will all be cut to size for you. In addition to getting the actual card kits, the 6 cards, you're going to get a PDF tutorial sent to you. It's going to have all the instructions. It'll have all the measurements and all the supplies that I've used and links for those supplies. So, all right. So that's kind of where I want things to go. I'm going to go ahead and just put everything on here first. So Sorry, I had a little itch there. I'm going to grab my dimensionals. Dimensionals are our friends. They make absolute perfect bling, just saying. Even if you don't have a little sparkly things, just popping things up with dimensionals really add a lot to a card. All right, so I'm going to go there. Let's go ahead, and since I have this right here, I'm going to go ahead and add my, I should have moved my dimensional over a little bit, but I'm going to add my dimensionals to the back here. Now that I had that sentiment on there, I know where everything else is going to get placed. All right, make sure I put this on the right direction. There we go. Now, this one needs to stay up a little bit more. So I'm going to just put a second dimensional underneath here because it kind of overlaps a little bit. All right, there we go. Got to peel off the backing. Get that backing out. The only reason I added that second one is because I really should have slid that over more, and I didn't. All right, now I did put dimensionals already on the back of my sweater and my hat. So I'm going to peel those backings off. Again, this is the other reason you want to make sure that your ink is dry, because when you're setting this on your table or your desk, that can also kind of smear that ink, and you don't want that to happen. Just saying. All right. So let's just take these two things here. I know I want this at an angle. I want to cover my thread a little bit. And then I'm going to put my little hat up here. Oh, how stinking cute is that? You can use this all winter long. You can send it, you know, sending hugs, warm winter wishes. It could be a birthday card. It could be a holiday card. Totally up to you, but I love it because you can use it really for any occasion. Now, I've done many cards already using this stamp set. I did share a lot of those with you already. I don't know that I have them handy to reshare again, but this is just a fun set. Oh, I think I do. No, I guess I don't. I think I put them away after I showed them the other day. Yeah, I don't know what I did with them. I have some of the pine tree ones I can share with you. Oh, here. Okay. These were a couple of the different cards that I made using that stamp set for fall. So, and then in our October Christmas craft along, you're going to get 6 more projects using this stamp set. All right, so I'm gonna put that aside. Okay, next, I want to put away my sweater. I'm done with that stamp set for right now. So let's just put this away. It's a little messy. So you can also tell when a stamp set is reversible. It'll have that shading behind there that tells you that you can flip those over. Now, I do have a little trick with the mittens. Let me show you with those. The mittens and the socks. So I did this the other day, and I'm like, oh, what did I do there? Well, I'll show you. So I went to go stamp these. And I stamped my, you know, just like I did before. Okay, I stamped my, you know, detailed. I'm going to come back in now and I'll flip this over. And I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to use that same ink, stamp it off and stamp it in. I'm like, but wait, if I stamp in there, my thing is going the wrong direction. Well, that's because I'm flipping it over. So my Wisconsin thumb, my Michigan thumb here became a Wisconsin thumb here. And yes, this is Wisconsin and this is Michigan. Just saying. So I had to use actually the other stamp. So now this one, I can look through and line it up and voila. So just a trick when you have those and they're flipping this way, they're opposite. So, but they will fit on there perfectly. They're not like at a different angle or anything, so they'll work out just fine. You just got to remember to flip it over. All right, let's put those away. Okay, I got my hat. There we go. Okay, those are all safe in their little home. Let's put them to rest. All right, now we're going to start with some other fun. Put this one away. We'll be using that green in just a moment. Now, some people ask why I keep this top layer. So a lot of people will take their stamps here and lay it like that with this thicker layer on top. Well, I tend to like to do this with to make it just a dust cover. I don't know why I don't stick them to there. I just don't. So if you want to know why, don't know. Just the way I do it. It's just the way I roll. Okay, let's get this clean because this is pretty dirty. Now, if you ever have a situation where you need to clean your blocks, did you know you can throw these on the top rack of your dishwasher and get them clean? I tend to just throw them in a tub of water with warm soapy water. I use my Dawn dish detergent. Okay, let's get our next one. This time I'm going to show you this card. So I've got all my bits and pieces. So again, you'll be getting double of this. So you have your cherry cobbler. You're going to have a piece of basic white for the inside of your card. You are going to get this piece here that is you're going to trim down. So you're going to trim up a 3/4 inch strip of this. All right, that, why don't we just do it right now since we're right here, we're going to use for the inside of our card. So I thought this other side of this paper is so pretty. I did want to use it. So here we go. I'm just going to adhere it to the bottom of my basic white. Okay, we're going to put some adhesive on the back here. I know, I'm doing opposite of what I usually do. I usually do my inside last, but hey, I'm right here. I might as well do it, right? All right, there's the inside of my card. Ta-da! All right, so this piece is going to be on the outside. So we're going to go ahead and just adhere it right down. I mean, this is such a pretty side too, you know? It is really pretty. Now that I put adhesive on there, though. Oh. All right, we're just going to stick with the project. The project that we're making is this. So, we'll put our adhesive on. And I can just have this off to the side so you can just check out how pretty it is while I'm doing this. Yeah, had I thought about it. So our designer series paper has 2 sides. So you're getting 2 of each card kit, right? So make one with one pattern and make the other with the other pattern. Simple solution, right? Okay. You'll also be getting 2 of the cherry cobbler everyday arches. I've already die cut this for you. It's going to be die cut in your kit. And then you'll have 2 basic white arches. Again, I'll die cut that for you. It'll be in your kit. You're just going to be adhering these together. Before we do, we want to put a little sentiment on it. So I'm going to grab the sentiment, Oh Christmas Tree. Now again, I tell people all the time that I'm a Granimals kind of girl. I like my things to matchy match. So I love that I have a sentiment that says Christmas tree, and I'm putting a Christmas tree on there. Just saying. I am a dork. I am your dork, though. All right, so let's go ahead and just stamp that right towards the bottom. And believe it or not, that's all the stamping that we're doing. So I use shaded spruce to do that. Let's clean this one off. We'll put our stamp away. A lot of times I'll just leave everything all over the table, but I find my table gets really cluttered and then I feel I can't show you things. So, all right, I got ink all over my hands, so I just need a moment to grab my handy dandy hand sanitizer and clean my hands. I don't want to get my secret C ink all over my projects. So, get that off of there. Yeah, and didn't have time to do my nails. Kind of disappointed. I'm going to have to do those this weekend. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and adhere these 2 together. Choop, choop. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some baker's twine. So this is the red and white baker's twine. And, ooh, this is in our craft along for October. Just saying. I'm going to leave a longer tail on this end. I'm going to wrap it around twice. So 1, 2. I need to trim a nice long tail here. I'm going to come in, tie my knot, then tie my bow. Again, if you are really good and you can tie your twine without tying a knot, I'm kind of envious. Just saying. I don't seem to get it taut enough. So I have to do that. Now, if you ever run into a situation where you've tied your twine and it's, you know, loosey-goosey, flip it over, take some Scotch tape, kind of spread it out, and then you can just put Scotch tape over that, and then I'll hold it in place. All right, I'm going to move this because I want this to be more towards the edge. All right, just like that. And I'm going to leave my tails pretty long and my bow pretty large. I'm going to trim just a little bit off. Okay, next up, we're going to adhere this right to our card front. Should put a little bit more adhesive on there. I'm not using any dimensionals on that right now. All right, now in our dies here, see, things get lost even in this small little area. All right, in our pine tree trimmings dies, we have our Christmas tree, our pine tree, and we have these little stars. You're going to receive a little strip of gold with each of your kits here that you are going to die cut 3 little stars. Now, I've already done mine, so I didn't have to show you. You know how to die cut, right? So I didn't do those. So those are already done, but you have a little strip of gold in your kits. We're going to bring in our die cut machine, and we're going to go ahead and trim this tree. Yes, I know you're thinking, oh, that felt is too small. You're going to be getting 2 pieces of this. It will fit this tree just fine. Promise. It will. I've cut lots of them. It's going to fit just fine. But it's nice, soft, like, it's almost like velvet. All right. And it's super easy to cut. It's not that thick, so it'll cut very easily with your die cut machine. Here we go. How cute is that? Now, the other day, I'm going to bring them in, we did some old school technique where I got my paper wet and I crumpled it up, and then I just, well, I die cut it first, then I got my paper wet, and then I crumpled it. Once I laid it out, I have this really unique texture on it, and I had talked about this last night, or yesterday. If you have this crumpled enough, you can actually peel the layers of your cardstock apart. This one wasn't crunched up enough, so it's not going to do that. I'll show it in a future video. All right, let's get back to our card here. All right, so we're going to take our little pine tree here. I'm going to put some dimensionals on there. So now I want to keep in mind where I have that ribbon, all right, my twine. I want to put my dimensionals a little bit lower. So when I do that, I'm going to put my dimensionals here and here. So make it even with the bottom. So I'm using my straight edge of my dimensional right to the edge of that. Okay, it's not quite to the edge, but you know, you get the idea. And then I'm going to put one on top and one more up here, all right? That way my twine is going to go somewhere in there. Get all these backings off. Put this right on my card front, just like so. I'm going to take my stars. Now, on my stars, I actually happen to use my adhesive sheets. So I put that behind the backing here of my foil. And so now I can actually just lift it off and I have adhesive there. So we're going to put, well, we're going to start with a star right on our tree. Oh, let me get that lined up a little bit better. Right at the top of our tree. I don't want that to be down. Hold on. So I really want the tip of my star to kind of be at the tip of my tree. There we go. That way it doesn't stick to everything else. Now you're going to notice I have like indentations in here. That's because my trimmer or my cut and emboss, my plates are really beat up. And so you're going to get that impression if you're using your beat up plates. Just saying. All right, we're going to put one right down here. And take another one and right up here. Okay, now, one of the things I forgot to do on the other card, oh my goodness, we're going to have to bring it back in. We need our embellishments on here. So the embellishments I'm using for all 3 cards tonight are our traditional sparkling sequins. I don't include the embellishments with the kit. I'm probably going to go ahead and throw your twine in there, but I'm not going to add these embellishments. It's too hard to cut that apart and include. So on this one, I'm going to use my my blue ones here, I think. Well, actually, you know, I kind of like the gold on it, maybe. Maybe we'll use these gold ones instead. So I'm just going to, the easiest way to get these off is to slide it, all right? That way it keeps that glue dot on the bottom. So I'm going to put one right down here. And we'll do another one somewhere over here. And then one of those small ones right on my tag right there. So that was this one. You can add more. I'm going to go ahead and put the red ones on here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take a small red one here. I'm going to put it right over here. I'm going to take this one and right over here. And I feel like I need a couple more. So I'm going to take another little small one and maybe just put it right over here. Okay, I want to make sure that when I'm putting my embellishments on, that my eye is drawn all the way around. So I probably need something just a little bit lower, just to kind of draw my eye back to that corner. So let's go ahead and just throw one right there. All right. Okay, so here you're going to be getting those, the kits to make those 2 cards. All right, we're ready for our 3rd card. Put these over here, and I'll show you the 3rd card right now. So I'm going to qualify this. Not everyone is going to get the same designer series paper. This is from our Timeless Plaid designer series paper, and you know, in that package you have quite a variety of plaids, but I don't know how many I have, so you might get something a little different than what you're seeing right here. But oh, I forgot my base here. So you're going to be getting all these parts. I just forgot my old olive here. Where did it go? Here it is. So you're going to get a piece of thick basic white. You're going to go ahead and score that in half, fold it in half, score it in half. I like to score my thick basic white. I feel like I get a much better, crisper fold than when I try to do it myself. Just because it is a thicker cardstock. All right. Give it a good press or take your bone folder. All right. Now I've got my piece of old olive, which I'm going to be putting here. And this time, so there's a couple different plaids in the Timeless Plaid. So here's a couple of the different ones that you'll be getting. I'm going to go ahead and this time I'm going to show you what this one will look like. You'll be getting different sheets, right? Everyone will get a different sheet. So I'm going to show you how this one's going to look. So on this piece here, I'm cutting this at 3 3/4 by 5, just a little bit smaller than that layer. All right, so I'm doing my 3 3/4. Reason I'm cutting my 3 3/4 first is I want to use this side for my tree. All right, so then this one's up 5. Okay, so using that old olive background kind of just makes that green on the in the designer paper pop a little bit more. All right, so now let's get started on all of our different pieces. I have a label here, and then I have these. I don't know why I had that one there. Oh, that was from the other card. I have these 3 pieces that I need to die cut my tree from. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. So I just love how easy this tree cuts. And it's really quick. So you'll actually have enough to make 2 trees from your card here. So if you don't like the one side of one pattern, use the other one. All right, so I've got my pattern paper. Now, this next part you can do one of 2 ways. You can either stamp first or die cut first. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and die cut first. And this one, I will go ahead and stamp first. So you can see the difference and you can make the choice on how you want to do it. Some people have a harder time stamping on a die cut image or a die cut cardstock, and they'd rather die cut it after they stamp. For me, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I go both ways. All right. I am going to take my Old Olive ink. Here it is. And I'm going to stamp my tree. So there are 3 different trees in this stamp set. So I am going to actually take this one in Old Olive. All right, we're just going to get a couple of blocks set. So I'm going to be using this one. I'm going to be using the stars. And I'm also going to be using kind of this outline one. All right. And they're all going to be stamped in our Old Olive. Okay, so we'll stamp this one first. I'm just going to look through here. And I need my piece of white under here so I can see it better. Where did it go? Where did my scrap paper go? All right, we'll use this one. All right, so ink that up. And just want to turn it. So I'm really kind of lining up the tip of my tree and my trunk here. And that's how I'm going to stamp it. All right. That's a little off, but that's all right. Don't like it, flip it over. Try again. All right. Okay, so I got that one done. Now I'm going to take my little stars here. Again, this time I'm going to stamp first, and then I'll die cut that. And my third one is my designer paper tree. So this one you can just look through. And again, I'm really sitting far back. So I do actually line these up pretty good. It's just hard to do when I'm way back here. Really, because my other ones on the card, they landed out pretty good. All right. And I did happen to die cut everything first. The only one I didn't, I have a hard time with this particular one, like trying to stamp it on my tree. So this one, I do like to stamp and then die cut. So I'm just going to get my blocks clean here. So when I'm ready, I can put those all away. All right. And the other thing I need to stamp before I move the stamps out of the way is going to be my sentiment. So I'm going to bring back in my Secret C. And I'm going to stamp 'Tis the Season. And I'm right from the stamp set. So everything I used is actually from this stamp set and the dies here. Except for the label. Okay, 'Tis the Season. So just center that. Now, the early espresso and Old Olive twine that we used before, we're going to be using again. This is actually part of the Gathering Moments suite. I don't think that's the name of the suite, but if you do Gathering Moments on my website, you'll come up with the suite. All right, let's go ahead and die cut this one out. And this is actually our third card, everyone. So we're going to be done lickety split. Nice, fun, quick and easy class tonight. Sometimes, you know, you don't have to go over the top to make really beautiful cards. I love to go over the top, but, you know, with running this as a business, I do work a full-time job. I have twin grandchildren, a boy and a girl, and my husband, my house, you know, we've got a lot going on. My elderly parents are in assisted living, so I tend to do a lot more with them. So yeah, I do have a pretty busy life, but I do find the time to stamp. It is something that relaxes me, and it's, you know what, it gives me joy. It brings me peace. I'm very relaxed after stamping. And I found that I don't have to go over the top on all my cards to make them beautiful. So I save my over the top for special projects. All right. So now I'm just going to layer this on. Now this one doesn't really pop out in the back. So I think what I'll do is I'll just change my layout here. And go this way. And we'll have that right here. So my other one, I did have it in back. It was a little darker. This one, you know, we're going to need to just do a little something with it. I'm going to grab one of my blending pens. Not pens, I'm sorry. My blender brush. Oh my gosh, I can't even say the product name. My blending brush. I'm going to bring in some Old Olive. We're going to make that pop out a little bit more. So I'm going to get some ink on there. And I am just going to go around the edges of my tree. Turn it. And yes, when you make little noises when you're stamping and coloring, it makes it even more fun. So feel free to add noises in as you go. I find that I make little noises all the time. My grandchildren just are always giggling because of it. So I guess maybe that's why I always do it. I don't know. I talk to myself at work too. Does anyone else do that? Raise your hand out there. Who talks to themselves at work? Okay, we're going to put it back the way it was. I think because I added that color, it's going to pop out enough that I can put these back the original way I had them. All right. Okay, I'm going to put that right in the middle there. To really make this stand out a little bit more, we're going to add a little bow to it. First thing I'm going to do though is I like my arrangement. You know, once I find where I want to place my trees, I like to go ahead and glue it all. So I'm taking the one that was in the back. I'm going to take my liquid glue and, you know, I was just wondering if on this paper, could I put the plaid? I wonder if I would have done this. Oh, I guess not. I was going to say maybe it would show up more, but it's not going to. Okay. So I have those there. I'm going to just gently lift and slide that underneath. Just so I get it to where I wanted it. All right. Make that straight. Now I kind of know where I'm going to be placing those other ones. So adding some glue here. Right up to this side. And this one is going to be a little bit lower. All right. We're going to go ahead and take some dimensionals on the back of here. Now I almost lost my dimensionals here. But I have a lot less stacked up next to me. Before I put my dimensionals on, let's go ahead and adhere this to my card base. I always, when I'm actually writing my tutorials, I'm actually designing, I almost always put my layers on before I do my top layer. I don't know, tonight I seem to be kind of going in reverse. So when you read my tutorial, it'll start from bottom up. All right, let's get this. We've stamped that. We need our two little dimensionals on there. Peel off those backings. Put it right on the front. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and grab my thread here. Now, I don't remember how many swap cards I made like this. I think I made 30. I had to tie 30 little bows. Let me tell you, it was not a lot of fun. So yeah, I sat there watching a movie with my hubby and I tied bows. And when I do those things, oh, actually I want to double bow here. I go ahead and put them on my glue dots as soon as I do it. So that way I know where they are and I don't drop them on the floor and then get going on everything and realize I'm still like 3 bows short. Or have my dog walk around with them. What did I do here? I'm missing my end. Oh, I see what I did. Hang on, I retry that. Didn't quite have that quite long enough. All right. Okay. This is my end. This is my end. All right. A lot of times I like to separate those bows, but they kind of twist it up nicely. So we're just going to leave it up like that. All right. We're going to take our glue dot and I'm going to go ahead and fold it back here. I'm actually going to roll my glue dot into a little log here. Now sometimes, like I said, when I'm making a whole bunch of them, I will put my bow right on there and I'll just keep going to get all the number of bows that I've done. Otherwise, if I'm just doing one, I usually roll that little glue log and then stick it where I want on my card front, but this time did the bow first. Okay, so there we go. Now we need to add our embellishments. So let's bring our traditional sequence over again. Now I have actually used a lot of this. So there's like 2 full rows here, and yeah, I haven't even run out yet. All right, so we're going to add a bunch on here. We're going to add some gold ones. I'll put a gold one right up there. I'm going to put a large blue one. We're going to put it here this time. And we'll do a little green one over here. We're going to do, let's see, another blue one over here. Let's get another green one in there. Let's see. Now on this one, I just did it in opposite style, but again, trying to do it in a triangle so that people's eyes kind of stay with it. Now, if you think, oh, I need more, go ahead and add a few more. Based on that designer series paper you're using, sometimes you need to fill it up just a little bit more. I feel like I'm missing a little bit here, so I am going to add just one more, and I'm just going to put it right there on my tag. All right. So there we go. So let's go through the cards that we made in tonight's class. This is our 6-card kit. You can get this card kit free when you place a $30 order in my online store. The link is in the description. So now this one, like I said, this didn't dry. So actually, you know what? It is dry now. Let's go ahead. I'll show you exactly how I cut it out. So I did cut pretty close to my stamped image. I didn't really want to have a lot of that white hanging off. So again, if you stamped and you went outside the lines, it's okay because you're going to be trimming it off. All right, so here we go. So this really is not hard to trim. It's pretty easy. And we'll trim up here. And I do want to trim a little bit off the bottom. Again, I'm stamping or cutting right close to the stamped image. So I notice I'm holding it very carefully. I want to make sure that it is dry and not schmearable, if that's even a word, but it's what I'm using. When you're crafting, you can make up whatever words you want. So this one, I'm not going to actually put that little bow on. I'm going to let you see what it looks like without. So remember before I kind of over stamped on this one to one side? Like I said, I'm cutting that out right close to the edge of my stamped image here. So I'm not going to see a lot of that excess. 2. And that was pretty easy to cut, wasn't it? pretty quick and easy. Let's get this added right to our front. I just think it's fun to sometimes stamp on different kinds of media. So when that felt was there, I'm like, oh, how pretty is that going to be? You could stamp all different colors. I just felt like having a very muted color here, more of a subtle earthy kind of color. Now the dimensionals will fit as long as you put the straight sides against the side of your sleeve there. I like to put my dimensionals on the sleeves so the sleeves don't flap all over the place. But if you like that kind of look that you want to have your sleeves pop up, don't put your dimensionals there. All right, here we go. There we go. Okay, and that is our third one. So actually, this was our first card. So you do get all the supplies that you need to make the 6 cards. You do need your own stamps and ink. I will do this die cutting for you. I'll give you the designer series paper. You know what? For grins and giggles, I'm going to go ahead and I'll throw in the twine so that you have enough twine to do your projects. But you will need your own embellishments. I don't include the embellishments with it just because, like I said, it's hard to cut. And they get lost easy. And then here is our second one. And here is our third card. So I hope you enjoyed these. Again, the links are in the description of the Facebook post. Also, it'll be in the description of the YouTube video. And, you know, to make it easier to find, I will go ahead and post a picture of all these on a Facebook page with the link to getting the class just for $30. A link to my online store if you want to order product and get it for free. And I'll also have the links for our October craft along and our mega class, or spooky sweet mega class. Now I did say I was going to show you a couple other cards made with this. I'm just getting them out. 2. And I guess I thought those were the pine tree trimmings, and they're not. Hold on. I think I got them in reverse here, so it'll just take me a minute to peruse through. I've got like 100 cards, swap cards, so I did about half of them the other day, Wednesday I think I did, Tuesday or Wednesday. So if you want to check out some swap card ideas, go flip over there. I did copy it up to YouTube, so it's there too. And where are they? My goodness, the cards I wanted to show, I must have pulled them out and taken them downstairs or something. Like I was going to show different ones. Well, this is actually a swap that I did. I used those little trees. I ran them through my embossing folder and could die cut them out. And I know I have more, but heavens to Betsy. Oh, this was a fun one, doing it in different colors. I actually got this as a swap card, and this is from Rachel Kuhn. And oh, I got 2 more. This one is from Cindy Sheets. Very fun. She used the 2-tone paper and sanded it down to give her a nice little look and ran it to the embossing folder. Here is another one. This one is from, ooh, I don't know who it's from. It's actually a fun fold. So, oh, she even gave me an envelope. How sweet was that? This is from Julie Whitmore. So shout out to Julie. She gave us an envelope to go with this one. So yeah, just some different ideas. And again, these are all different than what is included in our Christmas craft along. So make sure you sign up for it. You don't want to miss out. All right. Take care. Have a great weekend. Spend your weekend with people that love you and appreciate you, and you love and appreciate. Make sure that the time that you spend with others is just, you know, is blessed, and don't waste it on the negative people in your life. Just spend it with time with the people that love you most. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you later.